This is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it right now.
I'm all excited. You see that?
Wait until they see the strength and here to win. This Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it.
This is what it's all about.
Overtime on it. Lights out.
I'm gonna put him in the front runner seat to be the Black College Player of the Year.
This ain't for fun. I've been going done. They be still trying to clone it. From FAMU to Grambling, I'm on it. Stand on it. Marching 100 how you want it.
We always like to highlight the fraternities and sororities.
119!
What I wanna, big body. I don't even need a sponsor.
Homeboy was
I be
balling.
stacking comma at the comma. Guess I got good karma. I get it different. I be working on my off day.
Gimme 5 Black College Live is presented by Pepsi.
Welcome to Black College Live. Go
Yeah, we're gonna be rocking all weekend long. Oh, wait a minute. We already have been. We're at the Magic City Classic.
The Classic.
As we welcome you in to Gimme 5 Black College Live, presented by Pepsi. Also, thanks to our local sponsor in Alabama Power, Jay Walker, Tiffany Greene. A terrific show on hand for you. Special guests, of course, they always like to roam Birmingham. Not only that, Gimme 5 power rankings, game preview, all of that.
And I'm gonna tell you the 5 things you have to know how to classic. We call it, they don't call it just the Magic City Classic. They call it the Classic. And there's certain things you have to know how to classic. I'm gonna give you the top 5 things how to classic.
What's so special about the Magic City Classic is that it is the largest HBCU Classic
Ain't even close.
in the world. No comparison. I know there are other great classics out there, but Magic City Classic, they hold it down here in Birmingham.
And the one thing you gotta say about the Classic is, people don't realize this, they start tailgating on Tuesday.
Going up
Tuesday.
on a Tuesday.
They pack the house here, and the fans, and what I really like about the Classic, it's always about the game. It's about the game. It's A&M versus Alabama State. These fans care about their team. They got fan bases built in. There's some star power here as well. But the one thing that makes this unique is Huntsville, Alabama is an hour and 10 minutes away. Montgomery, Alabama is an hour away. Birmingham right in the middle. So it's a split stadium. So you've seen Texas versus Oklahoma. This is that version of Texas versus Oklahoma on the HBCU level.
Nothing quite like it. Last year was my first time here. Boy, was I ever impressed. All right, Jay, I know you always like to talk football, and let's look back to last weekend. A huge matchup in Tallahassee that was North Carolina A&T taking on Florida A&M. And there's some shakeups, as Coach Sam Washington, after that loss, was fine, critical of the officials, but more importantly, they have a loss now in Meehan.
They do. A&T has been the cream of the crop in HBCU football for quite some time now. They were the number 1 ranked team in the country, and they went on the road to Tallahassee. Playing in Tallahassee, as you know, Miss Rattler, is not an easy place to go to. You got the legend and the history, and you got Jake Gaither and Bob Hayes, all that stuff that you have to beat along with the football team. However, the one thing that disappoints me about it all, Coach Washington was fine for his comments. I think he said that the lesser team won today and criticized some of the officials. I, as a fan and supporter of the game, I feel like we were cheated from the opportunity of seeing a great game. And what do I mean by that? There was a scuffle at halftime. Who won the scuffle? I don't know who won the fist fight, but I do know that North Carolina A&T was on the losing end of the ejections. They lost their All-American cornerback in Mac McClain. They lost their school-leading career reception leader in touchdowns and yards and everything else in Elijah Bell. So they went to that second half in an evenly matched game undermanned. And because that happened, it's tough for me to say that North Carolina A&T may not be the better team, but I'm not going to take anything away from Willie Simmons. They won the football game. They did what they had to do. They had a coach that was ejected as well. Congratulations to Florida A&M. The Millennium is off to a great start, but there are some questions, and Coach Washington, I can understand his frustration, but that don't make it right. Doesn't make it right. You lost the game.
Well, not only that, I think it continues to feed into, quite honestly, no matter what side you sit on, it continues to feed into this budding rivalry. And I think it's maybe not the best thing, but it's fun for a football fan. If you're a fan of college football, you want to see this back and forth because it continues to build over the several years.
One thing, though, and just like we're going to talk about the rivalry here, There's one team that could care less than Florida A&M won that football game. Who was that, Tiff? I want you to say it.
Let me think. They were in the Celebration Bowl last year. SWAC champions.
Alcorn State.
Alcorn
could
State.
care less.
They could care less.
That's
I
in
know
the SWAC.
I know you're gonna say.
You just don't want to say it.
But you
Rattlers
just
is not going to say.
You just want to hear me shout out the
Bethune-Cookman
Wildcats.
could care less that Florida A&M beat North Carolina A&T because Bethune has it circled on their calendar. We're going to see it. Was it November 23rd in Orlando in the Classic, and Bethune-Cookman's won 8 straight, and quite possibly the title could be on the line. How you feel about that, Rattler?
Jay, we're going to move on to your power rankings now. How about that? I think that's appropriate because we could very well be mentioning those names and seeing them on this list.
And with that being said, let's take a look at our Pepsi HBCU power ranking. There's a new king on top. Alcorn State is in all ways Alcorn. They have had the most impressive season of any HBCU thus far. They're rolling through the SWAC. Number 2, all right, Tiff, I'll give it to you. The Rattlers, they finally make it. They're not number 1 yet, even though they want that. But I got Florida A&M with an impressive victory. They're coming in number 2. You happy with that?
Yeah, of course I am.
Number 3, I'm only dropping A&T from 1 to 3 because they're still one of the elite programs there. But how about this? For the first time in a long time, you got 2 MEAC schools ranked in the FCS top 25. Both Florida A&M and North Carolina A&T are ranked. Number 4, we talked about it. If you're going to knock down a Rattler, you better have a Wildcat. Bethune-Cookman, Terry Sims squad, 1 loss on the season. They're lurking. Haven't been that impressive in their victories, but they continue to win. And coming in at number 5, Southern University. I think they're the favorite to win the SWAC Western part of the title. So we'll see if they can make it to the SWAC championship game. But that's what I got there. And not quite making it on the list, and they can get there if they get their act together, is University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Who are they? Sometimes they look like they can play with the big boys. Other times they get blown out. We'll see.
All right, Jay, so game previews, because I think Arkansas Pine Bluff will have an important one this weekend hosting Grambling State.
They've got to prove that they can beat the G. When you talk about Arkansas Pine Bluff, when they struggle, it's because they can't beat the G. And Grambling's very intimidating. When they come on the field, the G on the helmet, if you don't believe you're better than them, Grambling will beat you. They will find a way to beat you. So this is a statement game for Arkansas Pine Bluff to see if they're contenders or pretenders.
And it's homecoming for a couple of schools, including Bethune-Cookman, as they take on the South Carolina State Bulldogs.
Why do you schedule South Carolina State for homecoming? I don't know. But the Bulldogs, they need to show that they're still back in it. They took a loss to Florida A&M. They're still in contention. And Bethune-Cookman, they're still undefeated in conference play. So keep an eye on them. If they can get that home field advantage for homecoming against South Carolina State, they're going to continue to control their own destiny.
All right, we're in SWAC country, so it's rematch time down in Alcorn as Southern taking on the Jaguars. The Braves.
Many people think this is going to be a preview of the SWAC championship. Well, they got to play it on the field. And what's crucial in this matchup is whoever has the best record during the regular season gets to host the SWAC championship. Now, Southern wants to have it in Baton Rouge bad. Alcorn, we saw the atmosphere when they hosted. So these two teams are playing for more than just a regular season game. They're playing for who's going to have the opportunity to host the SWAC championship. Felix Harper continues to amaze people at the quarterback position, coming in replacement of Noah Johnson. And Skelton, the quarterback at Southern, he's the guy that makes you go. They can slow down Skelton. You can slow down this offense. But one thing I do like, both these teams have championship caliber defenses.
So I'm very curious to know who you would pick in that one. Oh, Jay, you can't pick. You have to remain unbiased in this.
I got my inclinations who I think will win, and I will say this. Defense wins championship, and the most physical team I've seen in the SWAC for quite some time has been Alcorn State University.
We could see a shakeup once more in Jay's HBCU Power Rankings. Much more to come here from the Magic City Classic. So glad that you're tuning in, watching us here on Gimme 5 Black College Live.
Stick and stay with Tiffany and Jay. They'll be right back after these messages.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
this week's Star Wise Bethune-Cookman quarterback Akevius Williams. He was named the MEAC Offensive Player of the Week. 24 of 36 passes for 274 yards and a couple of TDs. Also picked up on one on the ground as well. Akevius Williams, watch out for your boy. He's continuing to lead an undefeated Wildcat team in MEAC play.
Welcome back to Black College Live. We're moments before kickoff, and joining me right now, the head coach of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs, Cornell Maynard. First question I got to ask you before we talk about what this game means. It's raining. What do you have to do for your game plan in the rain?
Well, you got to take care of the football. You got to take care of the football on offense. The defense, special teams would be huge. Field position game. So if it continues to rain, we have to change up the game plan a little bit, be a little bit more conservative, make sure we take care of the ball.
Now, you're one of the best offensive minds in the country. Now, I know you can throw the ball. I don't know you being able to run that ball, man. You can run it yourself, but your offense is always throw the ball. Talk about your quarterback, Aquil Glass.
He's been great. He's off to a great start, and as long as he continues to play the way he's been playing, we have a great chance of winning the football game that we're in. He's doing a great job at the line of scrimmage, checking off, getting us in and out of bad and good plays. And so he's doing everything we ask him to do. He's spreading the ball around. We just need him to take care of the ball a little bit better.
Now, it's the Magic City Classic. Now, I need you to tell your folks what's it mean to y'all to win and play in this game.
It means everything. That's what it's all about. It's the biggest classic in the world. And we get to play in it, and we get to beat Alabama State every year. What more could you ask for? Let's go, Bulldogs!
All right, he's claiming the victory hand right here on Black College Live. We'll have more when we come back to Birmingham, Alabama.
Stick and stay with Tiffany and Jay. They'll be right back after these messages.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
We are the SWAC. Our heritage lifts us to great heights. Because my history is forged by trailblazers that motivates me today to focus on my future. We are the SWAC. We are the new trailblazers. And this is my heritage.
Hey, what's up? It's Roy Wood Jr., and this is Gimme 5 Black College Live.
Welcome back to Black College Live. Tiffany Greene along with Alabama State head coach Donnie Lee. And coach, obviously these conditions not ideal before kickoff, rain, wind, and just before then going onto the field. What do you tell your team given these conditions?
Well, it's all about field position in this type of weather, not turning the football over. Quite naturally, you have to come off script and adapt to the inclement weather, and just find a way to keep the ball on their side of the field and get points when we can.
You've had a week of rest, but up until this point, coming into this game, how do you feel about your squad?
I feel real good. I think we have the players that are here that we need to be successful today. The key again is protecting the football and scoring some points.
Last year, obviously, you didn't come out with the decision that you would have liked. How do you turn that tide this year?
Well, again, last year they were able to get 3 big plays on us. We were so concentrating on one receiver that the other receiver had a career day. So we have to balance our attack, make sure that we defend everyone. Also make sure that we get some points offensively. We turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone last year. So that's what we're talking about, capitalizing on points.
In terms of your team, you've had to battle through some injuries, especially with Darius Davis going down, Duran Bell as well. Could we see those guys today, and how can they impact?
Next man up, that's the approach that we take. And you'll see a collection of a bunch of guys playing, because some guys, are still injured, and they may have 2 or 3 quarters. We're going to get everything they got in them out today.
All right, lastly, this Magic City Classic, what does it mean to you?
This is one of the biggest events that's going around today in Black College, and to be a part of it is phenomenal.
We appreciate your time. Moments before kickoff with Donnie Lee, the head coach of Alabama State. We'll be back with more from Gimme 5 Black College Live.
Stick and stay with Tiffany and Jay. They'll be right back after these messages.
Shot now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Shot, real smooth.
It's MEAC football season, and things are about to get wild. Could the Aggies bury the Bison? Or will the Bears make a run at the ratings board? Will the Rattlers strike before the Bulldogs bite? Will the Eagles sink their talents into the title or feel the Hornets sting? Could the Wildcats wrap their jaws around victory, or will the Spartans win out in the hunt? It's the road to the 2019 Celebration Bowl. May the wildest team win.
This December 21st, the best in HBCU football will collide in Atlanta at the Celebration Bowl. MEAC versus SWAC. Champion versus champion. Only one team will rise above the rest and claim the coveted Celebration Bowl trophy. Come join the celebration at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this December. For more information, visit thecelebrationbowl.com.
Welcome back to the Magic City Classic. I'm joined by Roy Wood Jr.,
Yes.
who is a Birmingham native.
Yes.
We also were up on the hill. That's called Florida A&M University.
Don't bring up the Rattlers
Oh,
around
wait
the
a
Hornets
minute.
and
Okay.
Bulldogs.
All right. See,
But yeah, Florida A&M
I'm
class
not
of
trying.
2001, one of the
I'm not
greatest
trying to
black
get in trouble or
colleges of all
anything
time.
like that. All right, so Roy, just your opinion. I mean, you're back home. What does it mean to have this Magic City Classic come bless the city every year?
Unbiased opinion, this is the best of all of the black college classics. This is the one that you have to go to. It's no disrespect to Bayou, no disrespect to Circuit City, no disrespect to any of the other class, no disrespect to the Florida Classic.
Okay,
Florida
you know
A&M.
gonna go there, right?
And you know what? I grew up selling sodas at these games, and this was always the game that you came to if you cared about music, if you cared about football, more importantly, if you cared about culture. This was the one thing that you had to come to. And this is long before you had to choose between A&M and State. You were just understood that you got to come to this game and be a part of this experience. And so to be here, you know, first as a vendor selling sodas to black folks, then as a student enjoying it, then in the junior ROTC, shout out Ramsey High School, marching in the Magic City Classic Parade. Shout out to everybody that marched this morning in the rain, putting on a dang good show. So yeah, it's always an important part of the city. I live in New York now. I still come home for this.
Yeah, so you have the opportunity to work on The Daily Show as a correspondent. I mean, just in your summation, give us a quick little stand-up. See, I'm putting you on the spot real quick. I'm just from your memories of Magic City Classic, some of your observation over the years.
There's the one thing that I always respect about Magic City Classic is the food. That's the one thing above all. It's the food. It's always a truck out here selling something I ain't never heard of. The brother can't even pronounce it, but it's delicious. This is one of the few places you just be eating stuff you can't pronounce. You be like, this is good. What is it? Blackle? This is blackle with beans and kraut. Yeah, you go get you two of them blackles on wheat. It's just insane, but yeah, it's always a good time.
All right, so I'm putting you on the spot with the football game. Alabama A&M, Alabama State. You may not have to know the records because I don't think it matters. And again, okay.
Alabama State, my
so
daddy used to work
that was
there.
quick. Okay, that was quick to go.
Alabama State, my daddy used to work at Alabama State. I met President Quentin Ross a couple months ago at an event where they honored my daddy. Alabama State honored my daddy. Alabama A&M never honored my daddy. Alabama State by 80 points.
Roy, we appreciate you being here. We thank you for your time.
That's my prediction.
Any lasting words? Any lasting words? I know the State fans are really
to any
appreciating it
A&M
right
Bulldogs, I didn't mean that. I love y'all. Please don't try to run up on me.
now.
When
Said
I see
watch
you at
them
the
anyway.
stadium.
Watch them anyway.
All right, I'm gonna go get me two of these black. I'm gonna win.
Stick and stay with Tiffany and Jay. They'll be right back after these messages.
Everybody clap your hands. Shot now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Shot, real smooth.
he's not live, but I am as I say hello and welcome back here to Black College Live, brought to you by Pepsi, also our local sponsor in Alabama Power. It's time for Jay. You gotta get up for it.
Give me 5. All right, here's the 5 things you have to know about the 2019 Magic City Classic. You know, it's an HBCU game, so you got to talk about those bands. Who's going to win the battle at halftime is always a key talking point. Water cooler talk there. Alabama A&M brings in a good one, but I'm going to tell you what. Alabama State, they bring out the Singettes and Honeybees. They're good to go. Shaq, let's give a shout out to Shaq. Shaq was supposed to be the official ambassador for the Classic. Shows up at halftime parade, but we're not going to see Shaq because of a death in his family.
Absolutely. So our hearts and prayers go out to his family.
3, the tailgate. I told you it's the best tailgate in America. They start on Tuesday, and you will not leave the stadium until Sunday morning early. So this is the best tailgate you're going to see. And 2, how about 2 Chainz?
Oh, bracelets.
Hey, they're going to have a post-game concert free for all the people that go to the game. After the game, 2 Chainz performs in the stadium. That's special. And number 1, it always comes down to the game for me. Who's going to win? Is it going to be the Bulldogs or is it going to be the Hornets? Let's not get it twisted. Classics are a great time to gather, but it's all about the game. And on the bubble, not quite making it, and you'll have to learn about this too. The post-game tailgate. I'm not leaving this stadium until 10 p.m. tonight when it goes dark because I'm going to go over there and party with Alabama Power. They tent and the Classic affair party. We're going to have a good time. It's just getting started. Be prepared for a long day. But that is how you classic.
So you act like I'm not going to be there with you.
We'll see. I may let you.
I'm trying to be all the way live too. What you talking about?
I got Johnny Mathis in the house, my boy Ernest in the house, everybody else. You go your way, I go my way. I'll meet up with you next week.
All good. Post-game tailgate here from Magic City Classic. It's so much fun and so much more on the way. Come back with us. We'll have a game preview on the other side.
Stick and stay with Tiffany and Jay. They'll be right back after these messages.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
Walker, Tiffany Greene, it's all the way live, real or shine. All right, we gotta talk about this game preview going on between Alabama State and Alabama A&M. Break it down for me, brother.
At the end of the day, they came here for a football game. Now, hopefully they got something to cheer about. Now, I'm going to tell you why you should cheer, because Alabama State can play with anybody in the country. We've seen that. They play with Alabama Birmingham. We've seen them go on the road, get some tough victories, ruin Jackson State's homecoming. This is a talented team. If they can play at a high level, they have the physically gifted guys, but this is a rivalry game. In the rivalry games, throw records out the window. The one team that don't care nothing about Alabama State is Alabama A&M. With that being said, they probably have the better quarterback on the field. Aqeel Glass is that guy in the SWAC, one of the best passers. And anytime you got a quarterback that can throw the football, I'm giving you a team that has an opportunity to win on a weekly basis. But, like I said, throw records out the window. This is the classic, y'all. So it's not my job, because we got to call the game.
I can't say nothing.
To talk about who's going to win the football game. So what do we do?
For Coach Chef to come through.
Coach Chef.
What you got?
Oh, okay. We got some filet mignon wrapped in bacon.
Stepping it up for the Magic City Classic.
Got the Conecuh sausage. Oh yeah.
Now, see, he's a huge fan of Conecuh sausage, and everybody in Alabama knows about Conecuh sausage. So, Coach, What's your pick? I'm going to have you come through here. Make way for Coach Chef.
Now, can I give full disclosure?
Okay.
Coach Chef is an alum. He graduated from Tuskegee, but he coached for many years at Alabama A&M. So I'm really not surprised at which way this is going, but I don't know. So are you going to be a professional, or are you going to go with your heart?
This pressure right here.
I'm going to be a professional today. I was at Alabama A&M a long time.
Yep.
But I'm going to have to go with ASU.
He's predicting Alabama State for the victory.
Shocking everybody. Well, I know the cheerleaders are appreciating that right now.
Hopefully they got something to cheer about after the game. We'll see.
Oh, we have had a wonderful time here from the Magic City, the largest HBCU classic in the
world.
In the world. They're going to shock the world. Alabama State may shock the world today against Alabama A&M. For Jay Walker, I'm Tiffany Greene saying so long from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah. This is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it right now. Wait until they see the strength and hear the win. This Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it. If they put overtime on it, lights out.